So then, brothers, well, now we have to fight each other.
Recording. All right. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3.
Record.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Clap. Just for
Hey,
you, Tim.
guys.
James.
God fucking damn it. Hey, guys. Welcome to this fucking ecstatic episode of Going Topless. And I hope you're ready to fucking duel. All right. So this
Who's on the
time, who's on the podcast? All right. So we got Bakura.
What's
we
up?
got Honda.
What? No.
We
we're
got-
talking about real person names.
Dude, no, I'm
Oh,
Bakura.
oops.
I don't know.
That is the real person.
Bro,
names.
I'm Bakura. I'm
Oh,
pretty
I'm
sure
Honda.
Tony...
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
Honda.
All right.
I drive
All right.
a Honda.
All right. We have. I do. We both do. So we
Okay, I'm
have.
Honda.
We have Matthew.
What's up?
We have Tony.
Yo, yippee, yo.
We have Lauren.
Hello.
And we have myself. My pathetic grandpa's deck has no cards. So
James.
this
His name
time,
is James. You didn't say your damn name.
my name is Yugi. Anyway,
Dude, I'm the Seto Kaiba
So-
then. I'm Seto Kaiba.
so so this time we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Undoubtedly and fan voted by every popular magazine there is that it's the best anime of all time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It is 224 episodes of pure gold. As a sign of good things, it actually aired in the U.S. Fun
Did you
fact,
never
fun
watch
little.
it, or did
I
you
watched
watch
all
it?
of it.
Oh, okay. You just don't watch a lot of anime.
I don't,
Okay.
but I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
What anime have you seen?
Oh my god, I watched half of Cowboy Bebop, the entirety of Tokyo Ghoul because I
Regrettably.
hate myself. I've watched fucking what's that one with that bitch who wants to like fuck her cousin and then also she's like this
Which
weird
one?
science it's like Elfen Lied or some shit like that.
Oh, dude. Elfin Lead?
I watched that.
I
Why?
repeat, this is probably why you don't like animes. You just watch garbage.
Because it was like it was like I'd see someone who was like, this is really good, and then I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, and like 2 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX slaps ass, bro. I love
Fuck
Yu-Gi-Oh!
off.
GX.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh
GX
my
Generation X.
Elfin
D. I
Lied.
don't remember.
Anyway.
what the line is, though.
Dude, game on.
There's dude, Game On. It actually aired in the US, fun fact, 18 days after 9/11 on the 29th of September 2001.
Why is that one of your freaking facts?
Why
I
is-
just want to get this started off right.
James,
all right?
is that your
'Cause
fast fact?
that's a fast fact.
Was that on the Wikipedia?
No, it's not on the Wikipedia.
Nah,
I
that's
sussed
just
I
locked
I
into
did
his brain
I
forever.
sussed that one out all on my own.
So are we just gonna be talking about the anime and no manga?
We are going to be talking about the anime. Cuz the manga, you know, I don't read manga and I'm just going off like the top of my fucking head except for the
Alright,
3 pages of notes that I
I'll throw some
took.
tidbits of the manga out there when I can. I do own like over half of it, and like have read the rest online through totally legit means.
Yeah.
So like first off, all right,
That was
it's
already
got
first
yeah,
off.
I know, but listen. So it starts off, right, in Duelist Kingdom, which we can all agree for a first arc is a pretty legit name. It's pretty good. But
pretty good.
Duelist
is.
Kingdom
and we meet
slaps.
yeah, dude, we meet all of the friends with you have Yugi, you have Joey, you have Tristan aka Honda, you have Bakura, who's kind of a fuck. You have Tay or T, as I'm just gonna call her because it's fucking stupid. Her name is stupid. Or Taya, I think is her name.
Taya is unfortunately is like the most worthless like character in all of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I don't know. Who would you put that on? James?
Joey's deaf sister.
Oh, dude.
Sorry, blind sister. Blind sister.
Dude.
Whoops.
I mean,
She sucks.
okay, look, you're not wrong. She really doesn't do anything for the whole entire series. But dude, what the fuck?
Oh no, dude, she does do something.
She wants to, or Tristan wants to fuck her. That's existing for some reason.
Yeah, they make it very apparent that Tristan wants to have sex with Joey's blind sister. I almost said dead, but she might as well be because she doesn't play any factor into this fucking show. I swear.
Okay.
I think that would be more interesting if Tristan wanted to fuck Joey's dead sister.
So,
That would be bad.
so, like,
Go ahead.
you meet these main characters, and they're all in high school, and like normal high schoolers, they enjoy playing nerdy card games because it's all the rage.
Pretty sure that's what
So
I thought was
it starts off, and within
They're
the first
sitting next
couple
to
of
the band
episodes,
room. They got the Bakugans.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, dude. So
I
it
can remember that vividly in high school.
so you get to learn about Joey's
There's
or
40 of 'em.
Yugi's grandfather Solomon, who owns a card shop, and you know he has a blue eyes, which is really it's sick shit. And the
So
first
are you
major
gonna go
event,
into that where there's only
there's only
every person in Yu-Gi-Oh has the one copy of that card for some reason, unless
there
like,
are
that other person they're dueling just magically has it.
there were
and then they're upset.
canonically 4 blue eyes. So 3 of them were owned by Seto Kaiba, and the 4th one was owned by Solomon. But the first real major event, just to start this off, is fucking Kaiba taking Solomon's fucking blue eyes and then just ripping it in half.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's fucking funny.
Well,
And
in this world where Yu-Gi-Oh cards are literally more important than gold, God, and fucking anything else that's tangible or not.
yeah,
That's a fucking heartbreak.
I guess to be fair, like Yu-Gi-Oh cards are just like the embodiment of like gods, like technically speaking.
well, I mean, we'll get into that.
Okay.
But for sure. So it's
So why doesn't Seto Kaiba just print more later?
because he doesn't own it. Like he
Or
doesn't
we'll
print
get
the
into
cards.
that later. Once he
Who
owns
does
the
print
dual
the
mon-
cards is Maximilian Pegasus, the main antagonist, the real main antagonist of the Duelist Kingdom arc. And he starts off with his real introduction by just, because Solomon's already on a streak of luck, fucking sealing his soul in a VHS tape, a la The Ring, and fucking just sealing his grandfather. So Yugi comes back one day and sees his grandpa fucking slumped over on the couch and is like, I know exactly what's up. That's not how it actually happens, but that's how I picture it in my head. And so they have to go through this fucking grand quest in order to try and get his grandpa's soul back from this kind of weird pedophile Jeffrey
I was
Epstein
about to
character
say,
with one eye.
like Maximilian Pegasus is just a pedophile, right?
Dude, he, like I said, he is like a Jeffrey Epstein character where he just like,
He does force all these people on an island with like
that he owns
with like with no rules, no food, no water.
Yeah, doesn't a guy like pull out a gun later on in the series?
No.
there's a
He
few
points
guns.
he points his finger.
Oh
if you
yeah,
watch
that's
the
right.
US version.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
Joe. Sorry, I was gonna call you Joey.
Very
Fucking
menacing.
James, go on.
A fool's mistake, Yugi boy.
God damn. Go on.
So they set up this whole tournament that's hosted by Maximilian Pegasus.
You should probably go back to the Kaiba thing real quick, just to establish that.
What? That Kaiba owns Kaiba Corp, who does not actually, which I was under the misconception, does not actually print the cards. That is Maximilian Pegasus's job. He is the guy who basically decides what gets printed and prints all the cards. Kaiba is the proprietor of the hologram technology that
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards use in order to have awesome battles, and for some reason also inflict pain
I
upon
was
people.
about to say.
Because, which sounds
So
like
is
it
that
should be
just
against
an
it.
unspoken rule?
Oh yeah, no, they violated the Geneva Convention actually, in order to make holograms hurt people.
Can you believe, like, you're actually standing, like, you know, like the duelist, like, things? You're standing on an electric panel, and every time you take damage, it just, like, shocks your dick. Like, that's all it does.
Yeah,
that
no, the
ever gonna
hologram
get-
actually projects to your lower body, so that what you can't see is that there's actually a tiny hammer that just beats your balls every time you lose a life point. So when you
Or
take a
just hand
2,000
that's
life,
squeezing them.
so when you take a
It's just the
2,000 life point
Titans.
attack, you take 4,000 tiny hammers to the balls, or I,
mean,
don't
that
know,
would be painful.
the
mean,
clit if you're a woman. But they're not. I'll just spoil it. Not a lot of women in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's
wouldn't
pretty
want-
heavily male centered for some reason.
We got to get those little boys, bro. We can only
To
have
be f-
big titty ladies.
To be fair-
and Bishonen boys.
To be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh was Yu-Gi-Oh printed in Shonen Jump?
yes.
Yes, there it is. There
Very
it
much
is.
so.
There it is. All right, keep going. Keep going.
And then so Kaiba and Yugi, after Kaiba destroys the one of the last blue eyes in the world.
Like, yeah, he destroys 25% of all blue eyes in the world, which is fucking hilarious. Right?
It's great that all synergy cards with blue eyes always happen to just go up to the 3 then. In that case. Very, very nice coincidence.
That's how it be, man.
There was like a 4 eyes ultimate dragon, and Kaiba was like, trash! And just fucking threw it away. No.
It probably had shit synergy anyway.
Dude, probably. But this is in the duel. This is in, by the way, to set up this tournament, this is in the duelist format where everybody only has 2,000 life points, and there are just free summons for anything. So, like, you could summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which normally takes 2 tributes. You could just summon it for free.
So
Can't you also summon as much as you want in a turn?
I believe so.
so that's just
I'm not totally certain though. I think there might have been a one summon clause. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a one summon clause.
I mean, I think even at this point, like the physical real world rules and like the anime rules were already like veering wildly off from each other.
Yes.
Because I believe, yeah.
I
like,
was
they
about to
already
say,
had, like summoning sickness.
that just
or not
sounds
summoning
like
sickness,
that
but,
just
like,
sounds like cheating, but with extra steps.
Yeah,
Like
there
the
was
anime version.
so yes. What I know in later episodes in the first arc, they do nail down, okay, you get one summon per turn and stuff. The first episodes, everything is a little bit of a gray area.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Yugi's cards are absolute fucking garbage.
Also,
Like,
question.
they're
They
fucking
kinda stay
trash.
that way.
Question: is this in the realm of like low attack point monsters? Because 2,000
Yes.
life points is not a lot.
So this was in the gen when Hitotsume Giant was the best card the best card that didn't require a tribute when they nailed that down.
Nah, dog,
Which
it was
had
Battle-Ox. Battle-Ox had 1,700, bro.
that was second gen.
Nah, Battle-Ox is first.
No, Hitotsume Giant was. I'm like dead serious. Hitotsume Giant was actually number 1. Maybe not. I don't know if they got to the specificities of like the first card release, but it was Hitotsume Giant who had 1,200 attack,
Yeah, dude.
and that was like the best card you could get.
He's got
and then-
1,200 attack, 1,000 defense. Holy shit! And he's a 4-star monster.
Yeah, and Battle Ox had 1,500, but that was also released in the
17.
same. Sorry, 17. But that was also released when Lejin, Mystical Genie the Lamp was released, and that had 18. So it was the best.
Okay. So
Couldn't
yeah,
compete.
Legit
So that was the that was the second
Legit
card
was
release.
number 1.
Yeah. So that's why
Dang.
they had 2,000 life points.
This is a first gen monster 4-star. Jesus
yeah,
Christ!
it's fucking trash.
Oh
It's
my
trash.
God, dude, the power creep was real even in the first generation. Jesus Christ!
Oh no, at one point there was a monster that came out that was like 1850, and it was like mechanical
Me-
bug or some
Mechanical Chaser.
Mechanical Chaser. There you go.
That's
and
the
it,
one.
and it was and it was like it only released in like tournament packs of 5 cards that you could only get by going to like
Yeah,
specific
it was the rarest card you could get in tournament packs, and this is in real life. But
Yeah, dude, this card is
Um,
$50 right now
yeah,
on
Dude,
TCGplayer.com. This card is $50
so-
fucking dollars. Holy shit!
so
All
the
right, keep
first
going.
arc is when they got into. So the whole point of them battling was to get star chips, and star chips was basically you beat an opponent, you got all their star chips. You started out with one. And then if you could fill up your whole like wristband of star chips, you would like move on to the next stage. But that could only happen if you like beat the fuck out of everybody else.
Yeah, you beat them up,
So
you take their lunch money, and then you run away.
yeah, so you get
I mean,
released to
there's
like
no rules on this island. There's no cameras or
well,
anything.
right now we're not on the island. This is not on the island because on the this is on the boat. There's like a boat arc
Oh, okay.
where they start, and this is the first battle between Kaiba and Yugi, and
Nah, that's before the boat. That's before even all the Maximilian Pegasus stuff between.
no,
Kaiba
okay,
and
this is
Yugi.
the okay. I should amend this. This is the first like real like one where Yugi summons Exodia to beat out Kaiba's 3 blue eyes that he kept separate like a smart man to get 9,000 attack instead of 4,500 from tribute summoning them. Neither here nor there, may I add. But you get this is the part where you get introduced to Rex Raptor, who's the Dino Boy, May Valentine, who used the Harpy Ladies, and
Yeah.
also the love interest of Joey.
Fun fact:
And-
that May Valentine was my first anime waifu crush.
Mako
It would
Tsunami.
be.
Dude, Mako Tsunami.
Yeah, dude. Attack the
He-
Moon
he
guy.
throws-
That's him.
He throws the harpoon at fucking Yugi.
The legendary Mako Tsunami. Hell yeah, that guy rocks.
Well, his actually his car was actually the legendary fisherman.
That's right. You're right. You're
and
right.
and Umi, which summoned like the sea. And then you had Weevil Underwood, who's a fucking
Who has
cheating
the
fuck.
worst voice that's ever existed in.
Dude,
the
he
Yugi
literally has the
universe.
same voice as Toad from Mario. It's fucking crazy. But like the
man.
first real like setup for this tournament is they're all on a boat to go to this island and they all battle each other. So Kaiba gets destroyed by Yugi's Exodia. There's also like the Millennium Puzzle, but I'm gonna assume that people listening to a synopsis of Yu-Gi-Oh done by me are gonna know what the Millennium Puzzle is and all the Millennium items.
Also, when I was watching back, like I watched like at least the full first like Heroes Kingdom arc like about a couple of months ago, and they don't get into the Millennium Puzzle until after that.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
they don't like know who the fuck Yami is yet, and like every time like there's a whole weird arc where like Yugi's depressed later on that we'll
Yup.
have to get into because he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm dueling for anymore,
Dude.
bro.
Yami is
Yeah.
basically just a pedophile, right? Like he's just a guy
No,
that
No,
everyone isn't a
no. We're talking
pedophile,
about
Matthew.
we're talking
Stop
about
using
Pegasus.
that as just a code word for everything, you fuck.
Also concurrently while this is going on, and this is all from memory for me watching this 6 years ago, so it's gonna be rough, motherfucker. With a tiny bit of notes that I got from the internet, but there's also where Pegasus also kidnaps Seto Kaiba's younger brother Mokuba and keeps him in a cave, in a dungeon on his island.
As you do,
Yeah,
with little food and water.
with I mean,
doing whatever you want to this child that you've kidnapped for
And so-
virtually no reason.
yeah, and so Kaiba's going there to try and get his brother back and also prove that he's the best duelist. Doesn't fucking happen. Gets all of his star chips taken along with his lunch money. Weevil, while on the boat after
That's
seeing
not
the
true.
power,
That's not what happened. But okay.
I say I'm going from memory, so fuck you.
Well, your memory is wrong.
Well, I don't give a shit, dude. Kaiba fucking sucks and he loses.
You're forgetting totally about how like Kaiba like hacked one of Yugi's duels whenever Yugi was dueling the evil ghost of Kaiba that was created with the Millennium Eye.
Oh,
Like,
chill.
you're forgetting about that shit. You're
That-
forgetting
that
about
wasn't- that
how
didn't happen
whenever
yet.
Kaiba came back, he beat Yugi in the duel by standing on the fucking like edge of a cliff and saying, "If you hit me, Yugi, then it's gonna blow me back and kill me. So those are your choices: either give up or murder me." And then Yugi doesn't murder him, but he wanted to, and then that's what causes the Yugi sad arc. Is, oh man, I can't believe I wanted to murder Kaiba.
Perfect.
I think that happens like towards the end of Duelist Kingdom, does it not?
It's like the middle. It's like before the big like
Well,
quote unquote tournament actually.
yeah, just
like,
let
starts.
James get through this bit before we start adding
Okay.
weird shit into it.
Alright. Well, I'm
So-
just saying, bro. You can't undermine Kaiba, bro. Kaiba is the most important.
Hey man,
character
just let him be.
besides Yugi.
Let him be. Let him be. Let him be. All right, keep going, James.
So, Yugi boys. Sorry, Yugi boys.
There it is.
So they bring them to this island. Oh, I forgot about Bandit Keith. Who is
Yeah!
the fucking
Dude,
greatest.
Bandit
and his,
Keith!
and his gang of underworld cronies.
The number
Bandit.
one character in Duel Links.
Also during the boat arc, this is when Weevil takes fucking Yugi's Exodia cards and then just throws them off the side of the boat into the sea.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he didn't want to lose to him.
Jesus.
like,
They're pretty OP.
Yugi.
That's the best way to balance. Just throw away the only copies of the card that exist.
So like,
Because there are no others except for the others that appear later in the series.
I was about to
But
say.
we'll get to that. Or maybe not.
We'll see.
So the whole time that this is going on, they get to the island and Seto Kaiba is like, "Where's my brother?" So his arc is he goes throughout the entire island and is just beating people up. Like he just walks the island, and just beats up all of Pegasus's guards, and like then he gets to where they're like, "Oh, he's in this dungeon," and so he leads them into the dungeon just for Pegasus to have him watching him doing this on security camera. Then Pegasus just fucking right as Seto gets to Mokuba's cage, and he's like, "I'm gonna free you." And Pegasus is like, his delicious soul is mine. And he fucking just sucks his soul into his eye. Sorry, into a card. Using his eye. And so now he has the Mokuba card.
Question.
And it's...
Besides, is this like the second instance that we see that like Seto Kaiba using his like actual like eye? His millennial like
What?
thing?
Oh,
Like,
you're
is-
talking about Pegasus?
Yeah. Is this like the second instance
Yes.
in the...
Yes, this is.
Just imagine, I can imagine myself being a kid, like, in the early 2000s, just confused out of my fucking mind, wondering what the hell is going on.
Dude, it's literally so fucking sad. Like, I watched that scene even as a kid, I was like, bro, that's fucked up. Because like, literally, he gets there, and he's like, Seto! And then immediately just gets fucking taken. And then there's, like, a flashback where Seto's like, we'll always look out for each other. We'll protect each other. Mokuba's like, yeah! And then he just gets his soul snatched. Fucking
Jesus.
so hilarious looking back on it now. But
Alright,
there's
keep going.
Despite this, Kaiba will still continue to like pretend that magic isn't real for like another couple of seasons, at least in the English. In the Japanese, apparently he like knows that like magic is real and just doesn't care.
yeah, in the English one, he only ever acknowledges it when they introduce the god, even when they introduce the god cards, but like a little bit after that, and they get into the fact that he's the pharaoh's right hand man, essentially his big old priest.
Seto Kaiba? Is
Seto
there-
Kaiba.
I did not know that.
Is it, so Seto Kaiba is the reincarnation of the pharaoh's priest, as are all of Yugi's friends, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. To like a certain degree, at least.
All right, keep going. We're still
And
in.
so we
We're
have
still
yeah,
in. We're still in
we're
Duelist
still in
Kingdom,
Duelist
bro.
Kingdom. Yeah.
It's been like 30 minutes and we're still in Duelist Kingdom.
It's 24 minutes 52 seconds on my recording. We're still in Duelist Kingdom. I haven't even gotten to like the best part. So Kaiba's whole deck, Yugi's deck is a mishmash of just garbage shit, but it revolves around in this arc the Dark Magician and
The best card.
and Summon Skull.
The best card. Best two cards.
Apparently. So those are like the gist of his deck. Then you have Rex Raptor, who's dinosaurs, May Valentine, who's the Harpy Ladies, Mako Tsunami, who is Legendary Fisherman, and then Umi. And for some reason, that card makes it so all of his water cards don't take damage. So he started off cheating. So when he was like, I'm going to attack, I don't know, the fucking moon with Giant Soldier of Stone, I would say Mako kind of got what he deserved.
That is fair, but the moon was like a spell card.
Yeah, dude, it was Umi. It was a spell card, so he attacked a spell card. But
no, it was like his own spell card that like he had played, and then the moon, by destroying the moon, it receded the water.
Yeah,
and then,
Tony, that's not the point.
He played Umi.
Attackable.
That's not the
he
point.
Played Umi, and then he played the moon.
Yeah.
Whatever that card was. Joey's was also a mishmash of just garbage, like really bad. But he beats Rex Raptor later and gets his Red Eyes Black Dragon. But like the strongest cards he has are Time Wizard and Ancient Young Baby Dragon, which then
dude, Time Wizard is lit.
To give him Ancient Dragon.
Time Wizard is the most lit card like ever printed.
When you have plot armor, then like it's invincible. It literally wins
just like
nearly every duel.
Not even that. Like in real life, that card is lit. Like if you like gambling, you're gonna love fucking Time Wizard, bro.
Yeah. So in the arc for like the main group is that they go on and they battle, but really it's only Joey and Yugi that are battling because Tristan's deck is like a whole bunch of fucking cockamamie garbage.
But he's got Cyber Warrior.
I think literally his favorite card is like a 600.
It's Cyber Warrior.
Yeah, he's got Cyber Warrior, bro.
Cyber Warrior, dude. He can fusion summon it. He can fusion summon Cyber Warrior into a card that has 1100 attack.
Oh
so
wait, he gives him his other best card, which is that like shitty ogre card that like has some weird synergy with a card that Joey had in his deck.
Yes.
So he just had. It's a metaphor, bro.
Joey's best card up to this point is Flame Swordsman, who's a fusion monster that Joey just summons. Like doesn't
have polymerization.
Doesn't fusion summon? Doesn't use polymerization? He's just like, I'm gonna play Flame Swordsman, and people are like, you know that's cheating, right? And Joey's like, kunai with chain.
I think people are just they just feel bad for you.
So where they go is they decide to all go into this fucking cave, which has Bandit Keith and all of his group, and their whole thing is zombie
Undead,
monsters.
Right? Yeah.
Specifically Pumpkin, King of Ghosts.
This is the place that has the really cool like graveyard
yes
duel place. Which
yes.
is probably the raddest place they ever duel at, like ever, honestly.
Yeah. So they have to battle Pumpkin King of Ghosts. They end up winning.
And the entire time Bandit Keith is having like PTSD moments of him losing against Pegasus.
Yes.
Where Pegasus like gave a child a note and like had the child beat Pegasus or whatever.
Yes. That is literally what happens. It's fucking hilarious. Feel free to add any interjections, by the way, throughout this. We've already set this trend, but I want to make it clear. And then once they do that, they progress immediately to this big set of doors, and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" They open the doors to this giant room, and all of a sudden,
this is right before Bandit, or this is right after Bandit Keith locked them in the cave and tries to murder them by locking them in a cave on the Jeff Epstein
They all
island.
push a giant boulder in front of it so that they can't get out. Even though it's only Bandit Keith and like a bunch of his other fucking emaciated, weird, like looking cronies who literally look
His
like they would
gimps.
fucking get blown over by a stiff breeze. They roll a giant boulder into the cave entrance, and Tristan, Joey, Yugi, Taya, and Bakura, who I think was part of the party at this point, may be wrong.
I think at this point Bakura is doing his weird flipping back and forth shit.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that later.
And so they can't roll the boulder out because, oh my god, they were so strong. They used the power of friendship to move this boulder. Let's
They
go
were
deeper
clearly
into...
stronger friends than our squad.
Oh my
absolutely.
god. Yeah. So then they move to this giant set of double doors, and they're like, yo, what the fuck? And then these two, like, super Asian, kind of racist, like, stereotype twins come up named Para and Dox.
Oh,
Right?
dude!
And so
Yeah.
their whole shit was
My
they
favorite
did
Duel Links event.
they did double battles, and they used Magic Labyrinth, or yeah, Labyrinth Wall, and it turned it into like a maze game, so they could only progress with their monsters like a certain amount of steps forward or back or something. And then they had the Gate Guardians, which were all just like a bunch of shit.
And they're like doing a weird double battle at the same time.
Yeah, and Shadow Wall, who's this unattackable monster apparently, and then Yugi and Joey end up winning the duel because they
Kunai with
summon.
chain!
Yes. Could this is when Kunai with chain becomes a thing because he equips it to Flame Swordsman so that he can grab their worm monster in order to destroy it. They summon Red Skull Dragon or B Skull Dragon or Red B Skull Dragon or whatever it is.
What does the B stand for?
we should get into
Polymerization
that.
of Summon Skull and Red Eyes Black Dragon that Joey won from Rex Raptor. And
So that means Joey had just happened to have this card, or Yugi happened to have this card in their deck, just chilling whenever the fuck.
well,
and not in-
well, Joey beat Rex Raptor in order to gain the card.
But
And he
like,
did.
but does this like do polymerization? Whenever they fuse something on the field, does that like make the card exist?
Yes.
Can polymerization fuse anything?
Oh, there's no
At
extra
this
deck.
point, yes.
There is no extra deck. It's just they have
yeah.
they use
That's-
the power of cards with
That's right.
holograms.
In season 1, they basically just make up card like names.
I mean, throughout the whole series, they basically just make up cards.
But there are points where like polymerization is used to fuse like spell cards and monsters on other people's fields. and
It's so
shit.
stupid. And so they end up like gimping these people into they end up winning because they turn back their own inescapable monster destruction attack back onto their own Gate Guardian, which destroys them. They make it through the duel, or sorry, they end up navigating through the labyrinth and winning the duel.
And this is like an 8-episode arc, by the way.
Holy
This is no joke. I
This
think
is
the duel's
2
like 4.
VHS tapes.
No. The Paradox fight is 1 VHS tape. The Bandit Keith and all of his emaciated, fucking stupid looking.
No,
group.
dude, the Paradox duel is 8 episodes.
I'm telling you, dude. I had the whole duel on VHS. I had it.
But are you remembering? Because there's basically 2 parts of the duel. There's
That was all.
navigating the
That was
labyrinth
all on
part,
1 VHS.
And then there's the Gate Guardian part, where they're summoning all 3 of the Gate Guardians, and then they summon the last dude, who's basically actually a worse version of all 3 of them.
Yeah, Kazijin, Suijin, and Sanjin or something stupid like that. And they summon it. This is all in 1 VHS, I promise you.
Okay,
And then
okay.
so they win, and then because Paradox hate losing, dude, I'm gonna have to speed up the rest of this because we're already
You really do, bro.
lagging.
You're going
Dude,
to need to
So
do
they're
that.
like, yo, instead of letting you progress, there's 2 doors. Which one are you gonna go through? One of them's gonna kill you and lead you into a maze that you can never get out of. and the other one is the way to safety. And they're like, oh, I choose the third door. And they're like, third door? How did you know about that? And and so there's a third door that they go through in order to progress until the actual like battles, right?
Right.
And so the whole gist is like what ends up happening is that then there's an actual like battle stage. So there's Joey battles Kaiba and loses.
As he does.
Yugi battles. I can't fucking remember who he battles.
No, that's not what happens. Because Yugi and Joey have the super sick ballad. We're closer than brothers, like the Phil Collins song they made special for this fucking duel in the American version.
And it's stupid.
Oh, dude, I love that song. Dog.
But they progress through the whole thing, and the gist of it is Kaiba battles Maximilian Pegasus, loses, and then he also gets sealed into a card, because fuck him, right?
Yeah, that happens before the tournament. So he doesn't actually fuck around in any of that.
All right.
Maybe. But
Keep going.
he fucking loses super hard. And gets his soul taken. So then Yugi has to go through this whole thing to battle Pegasus, whose whole gist is Toon World. Now, Toon World, in the anime, this card is fucking OP.
I was about to say.
Because he pays like nothing to put it out. He can take Yugi's cards and make them into Toon versions, just like any card. It's kind of like Fusion Monsters, how he just wills them into existence by making like fucking Toon Mermaid something, and Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Toon everything. And he can also see into his mind. His other big gimmick is Relinquished, which also takes one of Yugi's cards and then uses that as like fodder. He gets its attack and defense, and then if they attack that card, then Yugi's monster is destroyed, and he can just take another one, right?
Oh my god.
And not to mention, he can also see into his fucking mind. So the cards are stacked against Yugi. Well, what is Yugi gonna do? Well, here's what he's gonna do. He made a pact with his friend, friends before this duel, and so he uses the power of that to stop Pegasus from reading his mind. What he also does is just cheats by using Karibo to basically repeatedly kamikaze Relinquish's eyes so that Relinquish can't see, and then pieces Relinquish and wins.
This becomes a combo that you've used a couple of times, where it's the multiply and Karibo combo just equals win for some reason.
It just destroys whatever monster, and then Yugi attacks and wins. So
big exploit.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Yugi ends up winning. Surprise! Fucking gets back Mokuba and Seto's souls, and then he's like, and then Seto has the fucking balls to unbelieve, like, I don't think magic exists. And also to be like, hey, Yugi, fuck you. And that's his whole thing.
I'm still the king of games.
He's
I'm
like,
gonna get it.
yeah, he's like, I'm still the best duelist. Fuck you. Your win was a fluke. Also, magic isn't real. Fuck you. I was asleep this whole time. Like,
they drugged me with some new age drug that they're working on at the Epstein Pegasus Island.
Exactly. So Epstein Pegasus. Then he's like, oh, shit, Yugi boy. I guess I have to grant your request. And Yugi's like, give me my fucking grandpa's soul back, you piece of shit. Because we're still on the fact that his soul is trapped. And
he's like, I did this all for my wife, though, Yugi boy. And he's like, I don't give a shit.
He's like, yeah, my wife was sick and dying. So then that means that I have to take Mokuba and sexually assault him repeatedly. In my mind.
Whoa! Whoa!
I was gonna,
but wait, there's more. Because you thought this arc was over with Maximilian Pegasus defeated. Think again, fucker. What you actually have before this ends is also Dungeon Dice Monsters with
Oh,
Duke
you-
motherfucking Devlin.
You
What-
forgot about the part where him and Bakura have a light or a fucking laser battle with their fucking Millennium items.
Yeah, but like I don't really give a shit about all that because
Side note.
Duke fucking Devlin.
Side note, why don't we play Dungeon Monsters, bro?
Dungeon Dice Monsters?
Yeah, why don't we
'Cause it's
play that
bad.
game? Nah,
'Cause
dude.
it's super
actually
expensive,
a shitty game that I
'cause
had
it's-
as a
It's
child.
I also had it. It's
I did
super
too.
expensive and it's really bad.
Oh,
Fuck that abacus, bro.
And yeah, Duke Devlin's whole thing is like, oh, I want to have my new game be all cool. I'm gonna challenge Yugi. Look at me. And then he also has some other motivations, but I don't give a shit about him.
Yeah,
So
he's
he's-
like the protege of Pegasus or something.
Yeah, he's like Pegasus's first
he
victim
got
that
groomed
got.
on the Epstein
Yeah, I was gonna say
Island.
he got Stockholm syndromed into having this game that Pegasus was like, oh, this is a good idea, but really Pegasus was like, bro, this fucking sucks. Anyway, go battle Yugi
No
because
competition.
he defeated me. Duke Devlin battles him
No,
in
he's
Dungeon
in a
Dice
coma
Monster.
right now after the Bakura fight.
What, Yugi?
No, Pegasus.
Yeah, no. I know, but I'm saying like the setup is like they're battling because Pegasus said it was a fucking good idea and Duke Devlin wants this game to take off.
Fair enough.
So he loses in the game that he made, mind you. He made this game just so he could win, and he fucking lost because he's
the first
garbage.
time Yugi ever plays it, too.
Yeah, and he's just better at him. And Duke Devlin's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to progress my game. And actually what I'm going to do is just totally abandon what I have created thus far in order to kind of be a recurring character in the gang. And everybody's like, cool, sounds good. Give up your life ambitions, you bitch. And
only
that's-
show up in filler seasons.
And that's how Duelist Kingdom ends. And then what happens next is motherfucking Battle City.
Battle City!
Because there are 2 parts, by the way. Technically, maybe 3 if you think the Grand Championship is, but really there's kind of 2. So Battle City.
Side note. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Side note. I just remembered that Blackluster Soldier was a card and was really powerful, and I wanted to understand why it was so powerful back in the day. And then I realized it has 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. Jesus
But
Christ!
the problem is it's a ritual monster, so it's virtually unplayable.
It's not. It can only be special summoned through 1 card. Blackluster
And-
Ritual.
And
Which
do you
is
know?
a ritual card.
I mean, yeah,
And-
okay,
which
yeah,
makes
that's
it
fair.
a ritual summon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't
That's
don't
fair.
forget that this is when we introduced ritual summons with Relinquished and then Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is a fusion monster, right? And then we also have Black Chaos Magician.
Oh
Who's-
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that card too.
Yeah.
So there's 2 versions of that card. One that's a ritual card that's kind of shitty, and then there's just a regular version of that card that's like uber good. That's just like a regular monster.
That's
Envoy of the
right.
Beginning. He's a special summon monster, but yeah, he's an effect monster. He can only
Yeah,
be special
Blackluster
summoned, like,
Soldier,
certain
Envoy
turns.
of the Beginning. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So
But
this
we go
is.
into Battle City.
Sorry again. Side note: is this the point where we start introducing the extra deck?
Also Jinzo.
That's right. Okay.
And Jinzo.
Okay. Go on.
But yeah, we get into Battle City. So there's a few notes so far. So far they've been playing on either the stage holographic system or they have Kaiba's new advanced technology, his fucking dreidel that he spins in order to create holograms. That was it.
That he
And it was-
threw repeatedly at Joey to hurt him physically.
That is
That's
that is
the
a fact.
beginning of the. That makes sense to hurt somebody.
Yeah. But now we have the dual deck. This is when the dual deck is introduced.
Dual
Kaiba's new technology that if you don't know, just like it, I guess still sinks into their nerves this time on your wrist so that you can feel pain from a duel as well.
Why?
It doesn't actually, but they just always feel pain, so I have to come up with a reason to.
Why is? Oh my god.
I had a dual disc as a child.
I
It
did
was
too.
Fucking awesome.
Side note for the dual disc, the toy dual disc, to buy one brand new, it is about $1,000 on eBay. Like
Oof,
in the box,
Jesus.
brand new, it's
Damn.
$1,000.
A used one
Damn.
is like $250. I would know. I had one, and then I looked on eBay a couple years ago, and I was like, "Fuck!
Yeah,
I should
me
save
too.
this so I
Same.
could sell it."
Same. I think I only have like the wrist like slip-on guard left, and that's it.
Rip, bro, rip.
Rip in
Anyways,
peace, bro.
the dual disc gets introduced. It's the coolest thing ever. This is 2003. The dual disc toy comes out. It's the coolest thing ever too. It's got like a
And
spring
then-
lock. It's rad.
So the whole like this
It
starts
ruins
off.
all your cards.
It does, but
set
it's
up-
cool.
They set up Battle City with this is the first time you peek into the unnamed pharaoh's backstory, and they're like, there's this whole thing with like, oh, now Pegasus has made these god cards because he wanted a car. He was like told to make them by fucking happenstance, and like he had a vision, and also he wanted to make them. So he makes these god cards. And then you realize, oh shit, Yugi is a pharaoh because he has like visions and shit, and so does Kaiba of this weird shit. And introduces Merrick and the guardians of the pharaoh, who are slaves, mind you,
Oh,
are
yeah.
slaves that are sworn to uphold like the pharaoh's legacy and like keep his shit safe. Like 2,000 years after he died, still this family is in slavery. Again, kind of violates the Geneva Accords, but you know, fuck it, it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
In Yu-Gi-Oh, the Geneva Conventions never happened.
Exactly, so it's totally legal.
It's just a darker timeline. That's what would have happened if we didn't.
Nah, I would say it's a look.
Card games would have taken over our lives in a weird, like, might makes right fascist.
Dude, I would say that would be a lighter timeline, because like if card games are the only like sort of way like countries wage war on each other, that's okay.
No, there's still wars. Kaiba Corp makes bombs.
Yeah.
In the Yu-Gi-Oh universe.
Oh my god,
no,
really?
that
They're
is
just
a
like
fact.
Hasbro.
That is a fact.
I didn't know
there
Kaiba
are-
Corp was a weapons
No,
dealer.
they're like
Holy shit.
Hasbro, bro.
Dude,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
no, they're in multiple industries, mind you. Kaiba Corp is like one of the biggest industries in the world. They only got into the games industry because Kaiba wanted to, but before then, they did fucking war. That was their shit.
So Kaiba is basically like Tony Stark, right?
He is essentially Tony Stark, except for he's a giant fucking nerd about like if you be Tony Stark.
He's like,
if
instead
Tony
of wanting
Stark-
to dismantle him like his weapons industry, he's just like, no, weapons are boring. I want to make card games.
Yeah,
and
so-
holograms.
So Seto Kaiba is like Tony Stark, but he's really into figurines. Anyway,
Space elevators.
he puts all of his figurines in jars. That's actually canon. Seto Kaiba.
Okay.
So he
Are they right
so
next to his
he-
clipping jars?
So Seto Kaiba is so fucking salty about losing to losing to Yugi that he spends billions of dollars in order to make a tournament just in the hopes that Yugi will enter, just in the hopes that he makes it far enough so that he can beat him. That's the whole reason. All right. So we go into. So there's three stages, right? The first stage takes place in Domino City. So the whole point of this thing is that it keeps track of who you like battled, right? And so you have to beat enough people in order to like get invited onto his battle blimp. There's another caveat in that whoever like loses has to give the winner their best card or whatever card they wager, but it's their best card. So
essentially.
Merrick, parentheses, the guy who is a slave still, he goes in here with two of the god cards that he stole from Pegasus, because Pegasus kept them in a locked vault. He stole two, and then the third one his sister stole so that she could give it to Seto Kaiba.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
And he has a bunch of fake versions of him too that just kill you if you play them.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
We're at the point where the cards are so magical that they're literally like fucking like Ark of the Covenant level
Holy
of power
shit.
at this point.
Holy
Yes.
shit, that's
It's
crazy.
fucking ridiculous. So,
Insane.
Merrick is like, I know what's the best way to get back at this pharaoh. I'm gonna kill a bunch of people. So he enters these duels and drags these people in, and his whole thing is shadow games. And he's a frequent user of the Shadow Realm,
Oh my God.
which is being
We-
introduced, which, you know, it's just actually killing people, but they couldn't say it. So
yeah. So yeah, in the Japanese, the Shadow Realm does not exist.
It's
It
just
is
death.
just
yeah,
It's just
he
death.
kills people.
kill you.
It's
Yeah.
just death. Holy shit.
Yeah, actually, this is surprising, but actually in the Japanese version, Merrick actually has a Glock instead of the Millennium Rod. So when people lose, he just shoots them in the face. That's the whole thing.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Four
he-
Kids had to do a lot of work around that.
Yeah,
They had to do a fucking lot of work on those frames.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's the
Kind of
Millennium
impressive.
Eye, the Millennium Puzzle, the Millennium Scale, and the Millennium Glock. The Millennium Mac 10, if you will.
The Millennium Tech 9.
There it is. And so his first big genius idea is, oh hey, I want the pharaoh to lose in a battle. So I'm gonna take one of my god cards and I'm gonna give it to this fucking cracked out bald like skinhead looking motherfucker named Strings. And I'm gonna have him battle the pharaoh indirectly.
And I'm
So he
gonna tell
does.
him how one of these other cards works incorrectly.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
shit.
his thing is Revival Jam and Slifer the Sky Dragon, right? So
Right.
Yugi is like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it just beat my Dark Magician, Nani. So what I'm gonna do instead is Slifer has the effect where he can destroy whatever card comes on the field as long as it has less than 2,000 attack. Because it reduces its attack by 2,000. If it goes to 0, the card is destroyed. He also has Revival Jam, a card that if it's destroyed, it's not. It just comes back.
And I think it
So
like
you-
has a draw effect or something.
No. So
At least
so
in the
no,
anime.
no. So Yugi uses Card of Safe Return,
Okay.
which is if you destroy a card, you get to draw 3 cards. So he Monster Reborn's Revival Jam, and then Revival Jam just keeps reviving. He makes Strings deck out. Da na na na. You have Slifer the Sky Dragon.
Hell yeah.
And it was actually remarkably easy to gain.
Yeah, it really was.
So,
All
question.
the while, a bunch of
Question. What is stopping people from just running up in the middle of a duel and just knocking someone out?
nothing, but their honor. Their honor.
They're the Japanese fighting spiritual. I'm
I was-
gonna bring it back
That's a little
every video.
that's a little bit regrettable, but sure.
That's how it's described
Canceled.
in Japan.
Anyway,
I was about to say-
um,
That's how they describe it themselves.
all of the other duels, I'm gonna be honest, are totally inconsequential up to this point. Besides this one where Yugi gets the god cards, and then this fucking woman is like, "Oh, by the way, you know you're the pharaoh, right?" And then she's also like, "Oh, hey Seto Kaiba, you know that you're also from ancient times, right? And your ancient thing was Blue Eyes White Dragon," and shows her like this stone from 2,000 years ago. And what his response is, "Nah." And so he just ignores it and takes off as the tormentor.
Wait, does he
that's-
steal Obelisk the Tormentor, or does he just
Nope.
take it from her?
Nope, he just gets it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gives it to him.
She's like, you'll cosmically need this for some reason.
Dude, you're like the
I'm
second.
not gonna tell you why, but
You're
I'm
the
gonna
second
tell you.
coolest guy in the show, so we have to give you the coolest god card.
And it's blue, so it fits your.
Yeah, it fits the
Your
general theme.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you get into the battle blimp. There's also some other stuff where like Merrick takes Weevil Underwood and Rex Raptor's souls and then makes them into mindless puppets,
Holy
kind of like
shit.
Strings, using his shadow games. Because he does a shadow game where if you lose your life point, you lose some of your life essence. If you get to 0, you die. But really, he takes your body and then for his own weird, perverted like sensibilities, can just control it now, and your soul is his.
Holy shit!
You
So-
say that, but it really amounts to them just playing card games.
It really does.
He's just a really bored nerd that couldn't find anyone in the band hallway to play Bakugan.
One more side note. I looked up the Yu-Gi-Oh dice, like dungeon dice monsters, and for a single dice monster, they are going for $30 to 35, like 30 to 40 bucks on
shove
eBay.
I have to
all
go
of
to my
those up my
grandma's
ass.
house. I have to go to my grandma's house because she has an entire set of them at her house, and I'm gonna steal them.
You should. Holy shit!
I'm gonna steal my grandma's Dungeon Dice Monster set.
Holy
Dude, she
She
doesn't
shit!
even
plays
know
it
that it's
every
there.
night. She plays it
And
every
it's
night
so
after
funny.
Dominoes.
Holy
but-
shit, dude! Yeah, get that shit. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So then there's a series of battles. The real major one on the battle blimp is Bakura battling Malik, and so they do a shadow game. Malik fucking uses the Winged Dragon of Ra, who in the anime is OP, best god card, but really it's kind of the worst.
Well, it
'cause
it has the power of it, like if you ever played with any kids on the schoolyard and they had a Japanese card and they just said it did whatever the fuck they wanted it to. This is the equivalent to that, where the Winged Dragon of Ra is in Egyptian, and if you can't read the effect, it also kills you.
Yes.
Does it really?
Yes.
Is that like an
No,
actual?
you actually have to chant the ritual because you summon it, but it summons in the sphere mode, and then you have to like say this so that it morphs into its dragon mode, which is different from its phoenix mode. It's the dragon mode.
What the
and
fuck?
then you can
These
also
are
it
all
has like
cards
10
that made it better. Wait,
yeah, and
what?
it has like 10 effects. No, the sphere mode was in the anime, but it wasn't translated into the actual card game. So it was just a
Yeah.
useless fucking orb until you were like, "Meh, come out, dragon." And
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
he's like, "Got you, chief," and then comes out. And then it has like 10 effects where it can like destroy monsters, and then you can also tribute all of your life points except for one to give it attack, and just a whole bunch of stupid shit. But Merrick ends up actually beating Bakura. Before Bakura like dies, he's essentially like, "Yo, you know I'm like evil, right? I'm like the most evilest one." And Malik's like, "I'm gonna ignore that. Thanks for your soul, buddy boy," and then just fucking takes it.
Holy
So
shit. Holy shit!
yeah, so you go through a whole bunch of these battles. Yugi battles Merrick.
Who at
With
this
like
point is having weird, like, Photoshop superimposed, like, his face is stretching in weird
Yeah.
ways. I don't know why they chose to do this in the anime.
it's
like-
because it's a battle between his two consciouses. There's Merrick
Sure.
and then there's Yami Merrick, right? And so he's
Yeah.
like,
I think they literally do the LR thing where one is Melik and the good one is Melik and then the bad one is Merrick, which is very confusing. And
but they battle, right, for the right. I think I could be flip-flopping these, but I think there was a fight too between Seto Kaiba and Yugi. Yugi beat the fuck
yeah,
out of him,
that's-
and then
yeah,
he
that's
got
like the
Obelisk the Tormentor.
semifinals.
Yeah, he got Obelisk the Tormentor, right?
Joey almost beat Merrick, and then he passes out at the very last
Oh,
second.
yeah, hold on, I skipped that note.
That's
wait.
a pretty
No,
important
that
note.
no, hold on. I'm sorry. That's Battle City 2 Electric Boogaloo. I
Well,
was
that's like, the big tournament. Yeah.
I was wrong. The first stage ends with Merrick beating Bakura using the Winged Dragon of Ra and its 27 different effects that he made up because fuck you, it's a god card.
And it's in a different language, so you don't know.
And
You
so
can't
at
tell.
this point, they're halfway in the middle of the ocean, right? And then you get into Yu-Gi-Oh's first filler, which I'm not going to go into depth in all the fillers. Really, I might not even mention some of them because they're fucking garbage. But
You actually already skipped like one. This is actually the second filler. The first filler's after fucking what's it called? Between Battle City and Duelist Kingdom. That's the one where they go into the video game for the
shit,
first time.
yeah. Sorry,
The first time?
Oh, god
They,
damn
they
it.
go into a video game 2 times, and it's like a virtual world thing.
God damn it. I skipped that note too.
The
You
first
are-
time
you
they
are
only
correct.
fight the executives. The second time is when they fight Seto Kaiba's.
Hold on. I'll get to that. But yeah, at the end of Duelist Kingdom, after fuck, I'm skipping all of my notes. After they fight Duke Devlin, then Seto. There's a small couple of episodes where the Big Five from Seto Kaiba's company just like take his consciousness and put it in the virtual world. So then they have to go and free Seto Kaiba. So it sets up the first. That's the first like couple episode filler. Then we get to the big filler.
The big thing about that one is that they summon the big five-headed dragon.
No,
that
no, no,
just
no. That's
shows
not
up
yet.
in every
That's not
single
yet. That's not
no,
yet.
it shows up in the bit. It literally shows up in every single filler arc. It's very annoying.
Jesus.
It's very annoying. It's that they just keep using that design over and over again.
So yeah,
anyway.
it's super shitty. They were all fired by Seto. They take their
Because
mind in the virtual
they were mad
world.
that he didn't want to make weapons of war anymore.
Yeah, they
basically.
also crash his blimp into their fucking sea base that they had, and then also take their minds and pull them into the
Pull them into the video.
yeah, and then they pull them into the video game. This is where they turn into Five-Headed Dragon, and they also during the course of this put their consciousnesses into like really shitty Yu-Gi-Oh monsters like Judge Man and Nightmare Penguin and Jinzo, which was actually pretty good up to this point, but like Jinzo and fucking they all one by one get destroyed. They also introduce you to Noah Kaiba, who is Seto and Mokuba's adopted brother, who was really the youngest one until he got hit by a fucking car. And then they had to take his consciousness, put in the virtual world before he fucking dies.
Jesus
Right?
Christ.
And so Seto and Mokuba were both adopted into their family.
Yes.
Even though Noah looks exactly like a composite between Mokuba and Seto Kaiba with
Exactly.
blue hair.
And he was
But
groomed.
don't worry
and
about that.
He was groomed to be the leader until he fucking dies.
Until he got hit by a bus, and
Yeah.
then his Gozaburo Kaiba threw him into the virtual world.
Dude, Noah Kaiba looks like an asshole, bro.
He is an asshole.
He is.
Also, you should look up what his like boss monster is. It's like a fucking like Mecha Shiva looking ass.
Yes.
Jesus.
And it's great. So they end up like winning, and then Yugi battles Noah's brother and then wins, and somehow that sets his consciousness free and he just dies. They don't really get
Also Gozaburo like attacks them like a big Harry Potter like cloud monster.
Yeah. Then they end up winning,
and then they escape, and then they
yeah.
go back into the real world, and then they just carry on with the fucking
Yeah, and then they're like
the Battle City arc.
they're like,
as if
oh
nothing
yeah,
happened.
yeah, this battle blimp, right? And Seto was like, nope, we're actually just right next to the real place, Alcatraz.
My Jeff Epstein Island.
Yeah, Alcatraz, where he sets up Battle Tower, which I mean is a fucking like billions upon billions of dollar tower that he made just to beat Yugi, but Psyche he already lost, so fuck him. So
Or he loses here actually, but whatever.
Well, okay, yes, but he already. Oh, yes, that's correct. That's correct. I was referring to what we were talking about earlier. So the first battle is Merrick versus Joey. Joey almost wins until Winged Dragon of Ra comes out, and then Joey fucking loses and dies. Except for he doesn't, because fuck you, Joey has the power of believing in his blind sister, who's also sick for some reason. And like just a bunch of weird shit.
No, she's just here now. She got fixed up in Duelist Kingdom after Joey got all of the money from Yugi's win.
Okay, question.
Oh, that's right.
Question. Did Joey's sister, like, have cancer?
No, she was it was some weird car accident
That made
related
her
to her blindness.
Made her blind and sick?
Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you, I don't
And
know if you know
somehow
this,
an
but
operation would fix this.
yes, an operation would fix her blindness and also cancer.
or whatever.
We're just all right, Joey's
because
sister.
because what you don't know is that cars are actually the ultimate weapon that Kaiba was making for war in the Yu-Gi-Oh world. Because Kaiba not only obliterated Pegasus's wife. Wait, no, she was just sick. Never mind, I was incorrect. But she probably got hit by a car, which gave her the sickness. Then it was Noah Kaiba, and then Joey's sister. So dude, cars are that's why you don't see a single car.
Okay.
in
And then there's the
Yu-Gi-Oh
motorcycle
films.
gang later.
Also,
in the other filler
second note, so Noah Kaiba is just dead, right? He doesn't get sent to the
Yes.
Shadow Realm. They just tidy up the filler arc. It's just like he's dead,
They
guys.
release his consciousness from the virtual world. So yes, he is all for intents and purposes. He was already dead. If anything, this was like a weird what was that movie where the guy makes himself into an AI, or puts his consciousness into a computer.
Fuck, I don't know. We'll look it up later.
A Serbian film. Anyway, let's
I'll
go
put
on.
the picture in.
For a Serbian film. Perfect. Anyway, so the first one is Merrick versus Joey. Joey fucking eats it hard with his red eyes black dragon, and then he's supposed to die, but then for some reason he like fights through death in a card game that he wins by just summoning Flame Swordsman. Again, Joey's trump card, cheating. And he wins. So he doesn't die. Kunai with chain. So he doesn't die, but he's in a coma. For at least a little bit. All right, and then the next one.
Iron Swordsman.
That is correct. And then there's Kaiba versus Yugi. Kaiba getting all cocky, doing the blue eyes white dragon shit, and then he summons Obelisk, but Obelisk gets obliterated, not by Exodia, mind you, but by Yugi's superior dual prowess and also Dark Magician for some
Hell
fucking
yeah.
reason.
Sky Dragon.
And Slifer the Sky Dragon, but really, let's say Dark Magician, because for some reason that's it. So then it's like, oh shit, we're gonna see Merrick versus Yugi, right? And they're like, nope. Instead, Joey's gonna come back from his coma and then challenge Kaiba in a duel, in a pissing match, because they want to figure out who's the third best. I'll give
Kaiba
you.
literally laughs at him.
And he does, but he accepts it anyway. And guess what? Guess who wins? It's fucking Kaiba, because Joey fucking sucks.
I do appreciate that though, that they still keep they know what's going on low key. They know.
Yeah, and Joey, whose sister is now finally able to watch him duel to his full potential, watches him fucking eat it, and just leaves.
Twice.
And it's
Twice in a row.
And it's so funny. It's so funny.
At least my Valentine was in the coma during this.
That is also true, because she was also mind controlled and shit. Then there's Merrick. I hate you. Merrick versus Yugi. Merrick summons the power of Slifer the Sky Dragon, cheating, and then also using Yugi's fucking this dude now, not evil Merrick, and he's like, hey, if you win, you banish a soul. But it's not mine. It's gonna be the good guys. And then it's like, what the fuck? Okay. So then I lose. And he's like, yeah, and if you lose, I get both your souls. And it's like, how the fuck does that work? And it's like, don't worry about it. This is my rules. This is my
cheated,
game.
but I ass off, bro.
And I
It
like to
doesn't fucking
cheat.
matter.
Exactly. So the
In
fight
reality,
progresses.
do shadow games follow the TCG rule set ultimately?
I hope
That
so.
That is the final question.
I hope there's just a machete right in the middle of the fucking table. If you lose, you just get a machete right to the fucking brainstem. Anyway, so Yugi summons Slifer and Obelisk, who for some reason can't take down the Winged Dragon of Ra. But you know what can?
What?
Fucking friendship
Magician.
and cheating and also Dark Magician. So Yugi gets to fucking win, and at the last second there's a mind switch where Malik fuses with the Winged Dragon of Ra, but at the last second when it's just an eye, the good one swaps with the evil one, and then he doesn't win because Malik actually he wins because Malik surrenders the second he gets control of his own body again. You know, the guy who was a slave and then got put into a super slave because he can't even
Or-
control his own body anymore. He got that body back and then surrendered. So
He
then
did kill
Yugi-
his dad before he became. Or I guess that's like what, like the inception of what made Merrick is killing his dad.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know,
Jesus
he had
Christ.
to do it to him anyway.
Whatever, you don't gotta worry about that. His dad is who effectively put him in slavehood.
Oh my
Yes,
God. Jesus Christ.
it's amazing. Anyway, and his
Real
sister.
social commentary
And
in,
it-
in
yeah.
the Yu-Gi-Oh world.
Yeah, they also had his best friend who was his slave. So this guy was like slave squared, right? And he came in and
Odeon
he's
was
like,
his older brother.
yeah, and he was an older brother. And he's like, oh, don't do this. And he's like, oh, I can come through, and pulls his conscience through and then surrenders. So Yugi wins. And Seto, in response to Yugi's winning, he's like, I know it's the reasonable alternative. I'm going to blow up the fucking island. And he does.
The island that I just spent billions of dollars on, and I'm gonna drive away on a fucking jet
That's
shaped like
shit.
a fucking
Blue eyes white dragon.
Holy
Yes,
shit.
exactly. And it's
Holy shit.
amazing.
Holy shit.
It's so funny. And so he's like, fuck you guys, me and Mokuba are out. And they're like, okay. And all of Kaiba's workers are like, yeah, this is fine. So then they manage to get onto the battle blimp and leave just in time while the whole building goes fucking down.
Dude, I wonder. I don't know if anybody thought about the ramifications of this.
No, not really.
I mean, Senekai was like 17. There's a line later on he says to the fucking
Okay.
the turquoise haired dude where he's like, I run a $1 billion company. I destroy lives every single day.
Oh yeah.
In
Yeah.
response to like, oh, are you gonna destroy your friend's souls?
Yes. No, that's actually the next filler arc, which is
Which is arguably kind of good.
which is the Orichalcos arc or awakening the dragons and shit, where you have the
For
crush
how
card
stupid
virus,
it is.
where you have the crush card virus dragon, which is fucking insane.
Dude, no.
Anyway.
Crush Card Virus is an insane card still.
Yeah,
Do you remember,
and giant
like,
germ.
do you remember Seb had that card?
Yep.
Like,
Whatever.
okay, so Crush Card Virus, like, in the actual, like, card game, I believe what it does is you call out a type, like a monster type, and, like, any monster type that's out on the field, regardless of what side it's on, gets just instantly destroyed. Which is...
Actually, in the anime, it went through your entire deck.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That's
Yeah,
cheating,
dude.
bro!
Yeah,
and
it's
it
called
was, like,
cheating.
Full deck mill.
I don't know if you.
Oh
I don't
my
know if you. I don't
God.
know if you've known this, Matthew, but Yu-Gi-Oh is cheating. That's all it is.
Oh my
Who
God.
can cheat harder? Who
Oh
who
my
has the
God,
power
dude.
of cheating on their side? That is
Yeah.
what the heart of the cards is ultimately honorable cheating.
Yeah. So the Sealed Dragon arc, Awakening the Dragon / Seal of Orichalcos arc, involves this dude named Darts, and his whole thing is like he wants to revive Atlantis.
As
So
you
he
do.
he does that by just killing people again.
What?
But this
he has
time,
like, a group of fucking JoJo characters. That,
yes,
that each
yes,
have a different accent. My Valentine's voice changes at this point.
yes, and
she
he
goes through the
introduces
same arc she's had 3 times.
Jeez.
and he introduces the Seal of Orichalcos, right? And this is, I'm not going to get into the specificity of it, but I will tell you how it ends. It ends with Yugi battling him, and then he somehow cheeses his way to an infinite attack monster. He battles an infinite attack monster, and then Yugi gets his own infinite attack monster, battles that monster, and then Yugi somehow wins.
You're
The end.
underselling it. So Dart summons an infinity attack monster, and then Yugi summons and he first says, "Attack points aren't everything, Darts." And then he summons all of the, like, Awakening the Dragon monsters, and then fuses them and creates an infinity +1 Monster.
Is that?
He
Is that?
uses-
Oh
he
wait, I
uses
need to
the
find
effect
this.
of,
I need to find.
literally. That's
He
literally
uses
it.
the effect of his fucking night card and the dragons, and then fuses them into an
I
infinity
need to
plus
find
one
this.
monster.
I need to find this.
And that's what beats it.
Yeah, and then
Also,
his
you did-
super infinite attack snake gets stabbed in the head and dies, and then Darts is like, I guess I lose now.
The other thing is like the seal of Orichalcos. Every single person who has it draws it like in the first turn. And summons
Absolutely.
it.
It's a good Seal of Orichalcos is a good card.
In the anime, it's beyond better. It
I
allows you to
bet.
do like 10 things. It's unbelievably
James, didn't Seb have one of these cards?
He did.
He did have
He
a
did.
Seal of Orichalcos.
And
didn't
and then the other like famous moment is whenever Yugi or Yam or the unnamed pharaoh at this point is standing on the train fighting Weevil, who pretends to destroy Yugi's soul in a card by ripping it up.
Jesus
In reality,
Christ!
it's just a fake card, and this throws the unnamed pharaoh into such a rage that he then does the famous draw monster cardo.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
thing.
he does it where if he draws a monster card, he can summon it and attack with it, right? And he does this
Yeah.
repeatedly to Weevil until Weevil fucking dies.
And
Because
he does it
of
like
the-
7 times after he already has won, because
That
that's
is
like
true.
the weird clause in the effect is that you can just keep going even after you win.
Yes, that is true.
But that's okay. What?
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
It basically just a style on someone.
I was about to say that
yeah,
sounds
and then
like.
he realizes, oh hey, I just murdered somebody, and then
And now I'm gonna murder his fucking kids.
So like going back to like the ball peen hammer like analogy where it just hits you on the nuts. Just imagine just like that happening to you like 20 minutes after the game is over. Just like you're on the floor like foam at the mouth unconscious while this hammer is still just striking your balls. You're just like bonk 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 bonk. That's what you get, son. That's what you get.
Like you're foaming at the mouth at this point.
Jesus Christ.
Eyes rolled back in your head.
That's insane. Okay, keep going. Keep going, James. I am
Okay.
very much interested in what is happening in this.
so the next actual arc in here is the Grand Championship arc, where now you get into Kaiba's backstory, where you realize Kaiba is the embodiment of I think I'm about to steal.
Oh yeah?
right?
Yeah.
And so there's this guy, Siegfried and Leon Schroeder, right? And
Jesus
they
Christ.
You don't know
their
their
whole
brothers at
thing,
first.
you don't know they're brothers, but their whole thing is that they were the ones that invented hologram dual disc shit technology. And what Kaiba did was he just bought their company, stole the technology, and then kicked them out.
Hell yeah.
So fuck them.
Hell yeah. Like the
Capitalism, baby.
like the ruthless businessman he is. He's
Yeah.
out here just fucking it up constantly.
So like the first 3 episodes cover like 20 duels or whatever
Holy
in this
shit.
series, because the whole point is just so that Kaiba can challenge Yugi. That's the whole point.
Again?
So Leon, yes, because he's still upset that he
Or
lost
no,
to him.
he doesn't enter this one. He just is running the tournament. And
Mm,
it's to go in conjunction with his Kaiba land.
that's true. It is
thing.
fought at Kaiba
the
Land.
final like battle is with Yugi. Or I think
Yeah.
never mind. Yugi is entering it. Yeah.
No. Yugi doesn't enter it. It's a bunch of
Oh,
people
yeah,
fighting.
it's so
Kaiba
that he
includes
can-
himself, and so they can have the right to battle Yugi at the end.
Yeah,
So Yugi
that's
is only had one battle, and that's at the end, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So then they introduce
yeah.
Siegfried and Leon. So
And like 7 other dudes that you don't give a shit about.
yeah, because they're all gone within the first 3 episodes, so it doesn't really
Exactly.
matter.
Exactly.
So Siegfried's whole thing is Valkyries. He has a Valkyrie deck. And the first thing that he does is battle Kaiba, really, in this arc. And he almost beats him, but then Kaiba uses the power of he beats Kaiba's Obelisk the Tormentor, but he can't beat his fucking blue eyes for some goddamn reason. Because
Mind you,
now Kaiba has a new and improved Blue Eyes. That's not Blue Eyes White Dragon.
this is the most powerful card currently, right? Blue Eye, or not Blue Eyes, Obelisk the Tormentor is like
Attack wise, basically because it has all a bunch of stupid ass effects too on top of it.
right,
But
like
attack points wise, not anymore. I guess.
oh really?
Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
This does proceed the infinity plus one thing.
Yes. So.
Also, I don't know what happened to those cards. I guess they went into the ether after the filler was over.
I
Oh,
mean, they got
absolutely.
printed.
They
Seal of
sealed them away.
Orichalcos is a card that you can use and play.
No, but we're talking about in the anime world.
Oh, in the
They
anime
just
world,
didn't give
yeah,
a
I
shit
don't know.
about 'em.
Don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. So, fucking yeah, Kaiba now has the new hotness Blue Eyes that he used to beat Siegfried, and then at the end, Siegfried was like, "Ah, I'm just better than you," and Kaiba's like, "You are a fucking ant compared to me." No, he calls him a mouse. He's like, "You are a mouse, and I am the king of the jungle. Like, fear me, you fuck," and then just beats him.
Holy
And
shit.
Siegfried's like, "Oh, well, fuck you, dude. That's not my secret plan. Really, it's to use my brother." And so then Kaiba battles Leon, his brother, and loses. And then Leon earns the right to fight Yugi. Now, Leon is like 12, and the Pharaoh is like fucking 25 at this point. And so this 12-year-old, he's like, "Oh my god, how am I gonna beat the best duelist in the world? Oh, I'm just gonna
You wish
get
he
this."
was 25 at this point. He's like also 15.
No, I'm saying when he goes to the Pharaoh mode, he's like he
Okay.
gains like 10 years for some reason.
Sure.
But
yeah,
also,
okay.
so then
Okay.
so then he's like, "How am I gonna beat him?" So secretly, he's been fucking having like mail conversations with Maximilian Pegasus, and was like, "You should make fantasy cards." And Pegasus is like, "Okay, little boy, I'll do just that." And so then Pegasus makes him the most OP card to ever come into existence, the Golden Castle of Stromberg. This card is insane. I'm just gonna read you its effects, okay? So during each of your standby phases, send half the cards in your deck to the graveyard. If you can't, you destroy the card. Once per turn during your main phase, special summon one random level 4 or lower monster from your deck in face-up attack position.
How do
You
you
cannot
summon a random monster from your deck?
Yeah, you cannot normal summon or set monsters. All monsters special summoned by this card's effect, and all monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. When the opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy that monster and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of that monster's attack. So you can't attack. You can't normal summon or set monsters. And if your opponent wants to attack, psych, they can't. Also, you take damage. The kicker is, this card cannot be destroyed by spells, traps, or effects monsters. And your opponent must pay this card's maintenance cost, which is throwing half their deck away.
This is
every
whack.
turn.
This is a whack card. What?
Yup.
This card's
And he
whack as
plays that
hell.
against Yugi, and Yugi's like, "Yo, that is not fair." And Leon's like, "Yep, I'm doing this to help my brother." And then he's like, "Oh wait, my brother's kind of a fuck. I don't want to help him. Yugi, you got to destroy this card." And Yugi's like, "Don't worry, I know just what to do," and cheats, and then destroys the card and wins. But secretly, Siegfried had betrayed his brother because he had infected that card with a virus that was supposed to destroy all of the servers in Kaiba Land and Kaiba Corp, and thus,
As you do.
yeah.
We should probably get into that. What the fuck are Yu-Gi-Oh cards made out of in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe? Because people are using them as like shurikens, but if it gets wet, it gets destroyed.
Yeah, you know,
They're they're like floppy disk essentially.
they're floppy disk cards that are also can hold data. Who knows? I don't give a shit.
I mean,
But
honestly,
yeah, he infects this card with a virus that will just corrupt all of Kaiba Corp's data. So then Kaiba
And
realizes
just by
this.
printing certain images onto them will grant them magic abilities.
Yes.
like that.
So then Kaiba's like, "Oh shit!" So then he just like does IT maintenance for a while, and Leon loses, Yugi wins, and then Kaiba's like, "Guess what, pussy? None of my data got destroyed because I fixed it. So fuck you, you're garbage, you're
I had a
trash."
second hard drive, idiot.
Yeah, he was like, all of the data is safe. Your life amounts to nothing. None of your plans amounted to anything. Fuck you."
Holy shit.
And then Siegfried
I'm
and Leon
glad that
just
you were animated badly.
and then fucking Yugi's like, "Oh hey, with that OP card, you played really well." And then Leon just cries, and then they go away. That's it. That's the end of the arc. And then you get
they're never
into
heard from again.
and then you get into the worst arc, which isn't actually like filler. This is a real arc, the Capsule Monsters arc, which is just the virtual world arc with extra steps.
Oh no, this was a little backstory on this also. So 4Kids themselves licensed, created, and had this animated. Basically to sell extra toys and to try and make a spin-off show.
So is
That did
this
not happen.
is this in the manga? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No. So none of the, not even to the show canon, is this even considered part of it with all of the filler in it.
Yeah. So, since it's literally the worst, I'm not even going to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the first season, but with extra steps, like James said.
Yeah, it's the virtual world with extra steps, but it's the same thing. Where the monsters are real, and you have to fucking tame them in order to use them.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
like
a big
weird,
old bad
Digimon,
guy.
Pokemon.
I was about to say, I guess this
It's
would
more
be
Digimon. I would
Yeah,
say,
this
but
would
you have
be-
capsules that you capture them with. and
Yeah,
it's like,
this
you
would
know.
be around the time that like Digimon and Pokemon are starting to peak, right?
Yep.
Like they are starting like
I would say
Digimon.
at this point when it was released is like a bit after. This is about when it's like Hoenn era for Pokemon, and like Digimon is already basically out of the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
at this point.
Digimon's already like dead at this point, essentially, when Hoenn comes out. Yeah, okay.
Or the dark period of Digimon.
No, it's dead. Anyways, that's a discussion for another day. Go on.
I would say
So-
it's alive again.
So
go on.
we get to the last arc, essentially. Technically it's
Thanks,
two arcs,
William.
but really it's one. It's the Pharaoh's Memories.
Okay.
So this is actually a time skip arc, but psych, it's in reverse. So instead of going back to the future, they're going back to the past.
Hell yeah.
Rise to
yeah.
roll.
So essentially what happens is the Pharaoh starts getting like visions of his shit, and then they get pulled. The Pharaoh himself, not Yugi, but the Pharaoh gets pulled back into like this memory, like time. What is it? Realm. So he has to like relive his past, and then his friends can't go in. So they're like, "Oh fuck, what we're gonna do?" Well, then this kind of racist caricature of an Arab dude comes in who looks like that one guy from Dragon Ball Z with the turban. You know who I'm talking about? Nope,
No, Mr.
not
Popo.
Piccolo.
Mr.
Mr.
Pope.
Popo.
Let me look it up. Oh yeah, this is Mr. Popo as fuck. So you get introduced to Mr. Popo. Who
He has showed up a couple of times here and there to basically be like, "Yo, the past was fucked up, bro," and
Jesus.
and he's like, "Oh, I don't know if this child deserves to have the Millennium Puzzle, but I guess I'll let him keep it." Because
Yep.
it seems like the Pharaoh has burrowed himself deep into this child.
Go on,
Yep.
James.
And so the Pharaoh goes back in time, and all the friends are like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do?" And so his solution is they just have this Deus Ex Machina kind of racist looking Arabic Egyptian character come in, and he's like, "Oh, just use this door. Just use the secret door, because you can go into like this fake memory realm, but we're gonna take you into the real one." And so they do, right? And
Right.
this is when you realize that Bakura was the bad guy all along. Because Bakura is actually a fragment of Zork, and Zork
Has
is
a giant penis.
he's this like creator, really
Look him up,
destroyer
Matthew.
like deity, where he's like his essence is the darkness. So he's anyway. So ancient Bakura, who's actually Bakura the Thief King, challenges Yugi, not the Pharaoh,
God.
but actually Yugi to a duel. While all the rest of this shit is going on, he successfully just mills Yugi's deck to one card and is like, "Hey, yo, fuck you."
There it is.
And then Yugi is like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna take a book out of the Pharaoh's page," and then just draws the one card that he needed, which was Gandora, Dragon of Destruction. Destroys all of Bakura's cards and then just wins.
Also,
it's like-
simultaneously, they're playing this like ridiculous fucking like Dungeons and or like Dungeons and Dragons game where like Bakura has like 3 different hourglasses where this one reverses time, this one stops time, and if this one ends, then I just all automatically win, and Zork is summoned and kills everything.
Yeah, this is his 3 hourglass tokens, right? So Yugi OP, right?
Right.
Oop, that's back to America Ishtar family of slaves. My bad. Sorry. So Yugi ends up winning, but then he reverses time, and so then the whole scheme for this is that the monsters aren't actually cards anymore. They're like tablets. They're actual monsters that are like a part of your soul. And so Bakura has 2. He has one. It's Diabound, whose like effect is whenever it destroys another tablet monster, it just gets its power.
Holy
Like
shit.
it just gets its attack and defense. So he has this huge one. Yeah, Yugi gets Gamora Dragon of Destruction in his deck, which is an actual deck, and then just wins. So
Okay.
Bakura's like, nope, fuck you, rewound time, and instead of doing any of that, he sacrifices himself and Diabound to summon Zork, the big bad. So Zork canonically is the creator of the Shadow Realm in the anime, but really he's just like Death Guy. He's kind
and
of like
that's only for the first like anime. After that, like we'll get into it.
it's the
We'll get
Pyramid of
into it.
Light. I'm not getting into it, dude. It's already an hour and 31 minutes.
Oh,
but
we're already past Pyramid of Light, dude.
Dude,
Pyramid
we're
of
just
Light happened,
we're
like,
just trucking
after
through.
City.
We're just trucking through to 2 hours at this point. Let's just keep moving. Keep going.
Yeah, no.
Keep going, James. Just keep going.
So
No
you have
worries.
the creator. He's the creator of the Shadow Realm. He's a weeb villain. And he's like, "Fuck you, Yugi. I'm gonna battle you." And so, first off, all of Yugi's like attendants, all of his slave servants battle him, and they all just get absolutely wrecked, except for the. Oh yeah, they get absolutely wrecked. So Yugi battles him. The first thing he does is he's like, "Yo, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna summon the 3 god cards." And Zork is like, "Yo, what up?" And it's an even battle for a while until Zork just takes away the sun. He just makes an eclipse. And so then apparently that makes all the other monsters lose their powers, and then he just turns the god cards into stone. And then Yugi's like, "I know what to do. I'll play another monster." So then he just gets Exodia. And he's like, "Exodia, obliterate his ass." And then Zork's
And
like,
Exodia and Zork have a big kaiju battle in the middle of like this weird dream Egypt.
yeah, and then it's like, "Oh wait, you remember that there's no sun, right?" And then he fucking Exodia tries to obliterate him. Zork lives and then cuts Exodia in half.
Holy shit.
Yeah, just
Holy
fucking
shit.
cuts him in half. So then
Holy shit.
Kaiba is like, "I know what to do. My Blue Eyes." And he summons Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which then Yugi fuses with to make Dragon Master Knight, who then does like this weird ultimate, friendship. We've always been enemies, but now we're going to work together, jerk each other off, like circle jerk each other, attack.
We're closer
That's
than brothers.
yeah, which then apparently is the strongest attack ever. And it's so strong that it actually destroys Dragon Master Knight too. But then Zork is like, "Oh man, I almost died, but psych, I didn't." And So he fucking lives.
We found enough budget to animate a couple more episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So then, they're like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do? Zork lived." And meanwhile, all of Yugi's friends who went into this dream world were like shown these hieroglyphs for some reason.
Oh yeah,
And
I
they're
forgot.
like, "Oh, we don't know how to speak Egyptian, so
Yugi's
we're just
friends are
gonna
still
we're
here.
just gonna memorize these hundreds of hieroglyphs, and it'll be fine because we don't write anything down. We're just gonna memorize them." And then they convey this to the pharaoh, who they now realize is a Tem, and they're like, "Oh, what does this one mean?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my fucking name." And so he says his own name, which somehow summons all three god cards again, but then he fuses them into like the creator of light. I'm gonna butcher the fucking name. It starts with an H, but that card is like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna create you out of existence," and then destroy Zork. And it's like, "Oh, all right." That's kind of
This is a world where everybody has to memorize 10 billion cards to know the effects of just about every fucking thing.
Well, they
Yeah.
could just make them up.
yeah.
I mean,
And
they
so-
do. They do. But
And so then it summons the creator god, which then destroys Zork, and they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do now?" And the pharaoh's like, "I kind of want to die, so like, if you could let me do that." And Yugi's like, "How do you do that?" And he's like, "Well, you gotta battle me, and it's the final arc, the ceremony battle, right?" And so this is just a battle between Yugi and the pharaoh. So the pharaoh has, let's keep track, Exodia and all three god cards in his
no,
deck.
I think
Or maybe not Exodia, but he has all three god cards.
So Yami the pharaoh has all three of the god cards, and then I think Yugi has fucking what. I all I ever remember are the fucking Magnet Warriors from that fight.
He has okay, he has the Magnet. No. Atem has the Magnet Warriors too. What Yugi has is Silent Swordsman, which gains a level and 500 attack for each turn it's out, and like Marshmallow and like a whole bunch of
Yeah.
other really shitty cards.
Yeah.
And so Yugi makes it through getting the god cards, but somehow can't get through fucking Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And is like, "Oh no, I'm gonna lose." But then he uses Silent Swordsman in order to like, he uses Golden Sarcophagus, something Silent Swordsman, something or Silent Sword or Magician, something. Hey, by the way, this card has like 4,000 attack. I win. And then he wins, and the pharaoh's like, "Oh, sick! I can die." And then Yugi's like, "But don't." But I would be.
Don't.
But I would be sad. It's very sad. And the pharaoh's like, "I'll always be in your heart." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you can die now." And then fucking, there's like this whole scene where they have to walk through a door, and Taya's crying because the guy who she wanted to fuck this whole time, just she couldn't get it in, which is the pharaoh. Because fuck Yugi, she wants all that pharaoh wiener. And everybody is crying and shit. And then
grows
he
a
like,
couple inches everywhere, bro.
yeah, and then like he like walks through this door that's just blasting with light. So they're staring right into the sun, and they're totally fine. They're just staring at the sun while he's walking
Well, that's
through.
why they're crying. It's their eyes are getting obliterated.
And dude, they got Exodia obliterated. Their cornea's got Exodia obliterated. And he walks through, but the last thing he does is he throws up his hand like a peace sign as he walks to the door.
It's a thumbs up, bro.
No, maybe it's a thumbs up. I don't give a fuck. He throws the thumbs up and then walks to the door, and they're like, "Okay, cool, he's dead now." And then they go to like the modern times, and Tristan gave up dueling because, I mean, really, he's kind of
was
garbage.
terrible.
Yeah, he's like a mechanic or some stupid shit like that. Yugi is doing some other shit. Teia's like a nurse, or maybe Yugi's still super into cards. I think Joey might be into it too, but I think it's like his side gig, and he's does something else.
You see Yugi and GX like literally in the first episode.
No, you see the pharaoh.
No, you literally see Yugi.
The pharaoh's gone, bro.
Yeah, the pharaoh's gone.
No, but
like,
you see the pharaoh.
Anyways, Yugi / the Pharaoh gives Jaden, the main character of GX, the Karibo,
Winged Karibo.
a winged Karibo, and
then
here we.
And then at the end of GX, they have a duel.
Yeah, no, but that's between. Oh yeah, that is. Is that the Pharaoh? Or is that Yugi?
I mean, I'm assuming that it's interpreted to be Yugi, since this is like a like.
I thought it was the
This is
Pharaoh.
at least it's like 10 to 20 years later.
This is like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is like a direct
Yu-Gi-Oh!
continuation.
So, I'll get into the movie, the most recent movie that came out, just because it has some very juicy tidbits in it. But
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, another side note about it. The Duelist Academy exists because of Seto Kaiba's receding hatred for Yugi.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
and he created the school to make dueling like even or people better duelists.
Exactly.
That's
And then
also why the hierarchy is the way it is, where like Slifer's at the bottom and Obelisk is at the top.
exactly. Yeah.
But in the movie, the one that most recently came out, I think it was like
Dark Side of Dimensions.
Yeah, that one. So it begins with Seto Kaiba not accepting that the Pharaoh is gone now at this point. This is like a weird. So it's more following the manga universe than the anime universe, but don't worry about it. Just don't think about the other Yu-Gi-Oh series at this point. For now, at least.
I was about to say, are we gonna get into the motorcycle one, where that one is just like an alternate universe, like a Doomsday version of Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's just the future. That
No,
is canonically
that-
just the future of
there's-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, then after that, which is Zexal, it becomes like a split alternative universe sort of bullshit.
I don't know anything about anything past 5Ds, but I do know 5Ds is still in that canonical universe. We
Yes.
still refer to Pegasus and Kaiba and all of them still at that point.
Yup. Yeah, you're right.
So in the movie, Kaiba is unaccepting of this so much that he forces the Pharaoh to come back and inhabit Yugi's body. And
Yep.
this causes like a weird time paradox man to appear and come and fuck shit up. None
The
of
Chaos
that
guy.
matters. Yeah, none of this matters. At the very end of the movie, Seto Kaiba creates a technology to send himself physically back in time so that he can duel the Pharaoh at his own terms, at his best.
At his height, bro.
And the Pharaoh is also like, dude, I knew you were gonna be here. What's
He
up?
basically acts that way. He smiles like smugly at him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I knew this was gonna happen."
And then
I've
they're
been waiting
about
for
to
you.
battle. Boom, movie ends.
Oh
Exactly.
shit! Really? That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
Why? Okay. I still can't believe that Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime is literally like, if the anime is this insane, dude, the manga must be crazier.
The very beginning of the manga, when it's like the slice of life point where they're like introducing all the characters, there's like whenever it's like still just like
Gambling?
weird, like gambling games, exactly. There's like one where like, if you put your foot in this shoe, you'll get it for free. But if you put your foot in the wrong shoe, a scorpion's gonna sting your foot and you'll get poisoned to death. And this is not even like a shadow game or like a game with
No,
a
this
bad
is
guy.
just-
This is just a street vendor.
This is just a normal game.
That fucking Joey wants to get a pair of shoes from.
Yeah, I should go and read the manga. Either read the manga or go back and rewatch like the whole entire Yu-Gi-Oh series, because I just realized I have missed so much listening to James's like little lecture that he did. I didn't even realize this the Zorg guy or whatever, the main like bad guy. Dude, he's got like a dragon for a dick, bro.
Nah, dude. When I said he's got a huge dick, I wasn't joking. They literally censored it in the 4Kids anime with
It's crazy.
With a big JoJo dust cloud over his crotch.
Hell yeah. So James, question: What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card then from like first generation of Yu-Gi-Oh? Like this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh favorite card all time. Go. All right, I guess James
Thousand
is
Eyes
dead.
Restrict.
What?
No, I had to think about it. Thousand Eyes Restrict.
Thousand Eyes Restrict. All right, there you have it, everyone. James.
Cause fuck you guys. Pegasus was right all along.
All right, James, lead us into the outro. Here's your lecture. Lead us through the outro. Let's go.
In short, if you need something to devote, hold on, let me get this math going real quick. To devote 122 hours of your life to, it should be watching every single episode of the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. It's one of the best. It was probably some of my childhood, like a good slice of my fucking childhood, and also high school when I watched the entire thing in like a week. But
You could probably chop some of that time off by like fast forwarding through the last time on Yu-Gi-Oh. And then like cutting through like the 3-minute intro and 3-minute outro.
Keep the outro going. Let's go. Keep it going. We're there. We're at time.
But I mean, fuck it, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the greatest shows of all time. No cap, voted by everybody. So, you know, we're gonna end it on that, motherfuckers.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. This is Going Topless. If you like the shit, I don't know, maybe subscribe, maybe comment, do whatever you want.
Dude, don't forget to fucking duel that like button. Smash that subscribe into the Shadow Realm. Fucking, you know, the heart of the cards was in that like button, so you should fucking start fingering that shit. I don't know.
All right.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace.